Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my video. If this is your first time here, welcome to Nails by Naya. And if you have been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a full set, and I will usually start off by pushing back the cuticles, but she does not like her cuticles pushed back, so you won't see me doing that. So after you push back the cuticles, you will go in with a 180 sanding band, and you will file the natural shine off of the natural nail. If you have watched any of my prior videos, you will know that this shine is caused by oils that secrete onto the natural nail, and if you do not file this shine off, I can guarantee you that your nails will either lift the same day or the following day. So remember, anytime that you're applying any type of nails, whether that's acrylic, polygel, gel, anything that you're applying onto the natural nail, you will want to make sure that you take off the natural shine. Now I'm going in to place the tips on her nails, and I sized her up off camera, but the way you size a tip onto the nail is you see if the tip fits from sidewall to sidewall, and that means does the tip fit from the left side of the nail to the right side of the nail. If it does not fit from the left side to the right side, do not use that tip. And let's say, for example, if you have a 5 and the 5 does not fit from the left to the right, but the number 4 fits too far to the left or to the right, so that means it's too big for the nail, you would still use the number 4, and you will go in and file at the sides to make it fit the nail. You do not want to use a smaller tip. You always use the bigger tip so you can file at the sides and make it fit the nail. So remember, the tip has to fit from sidewall to sidewall. And if one tip is too small but the other is too big, always go with the bigger one. And you're going to constantly see me move off of camera, and that is because I am going in and filing at the sides of the nail because it was too big. So that's exactly what I'm doing as of right now. You see, I took the file and I started filing at the sides, and I made the sides smaller so it would still fit from sidewall to sidewall, but I still use the bigger tip, if you understand what I'm saying. If I'm confusing you, I'm so sorry, but that's the best I could explain it. As you can see, I went in with the tip cutter and I cut the nails down. And you just ask the person what length they desire and just cut to that length. And now I'm going in and comparing the nails to make sure that they are the same length. Now for her, let me see what that was. Her left hand, I did just cut that one wildly, and that is because I did not want to cut too low or anything. So I purposely made them longer than her right hand just to be safe. So now I'm going in and measuring them, make sure they're the same size, and I'm gonna do that to all the nails. I'm using a straight edge nail clipper to go in and clip the sides of the nails, and this just makes it easier for me to file to get them into shape. She kind of wanted a like coffin shape, just making her size go in. Of course it won't be a defined coffin because of how short her nails are, but she still wanted me to file the sides. And you will want to make sure to go in with a straight edge nail clipper. Do not use the regular ones because that would just mess the nail up. As you can see, I went and got some scissors because I thought the scissors were gonna make it easier, but her finger was just in the way of me cutting anything. So that's the reason you see me alternating between them. I just was trying to find which one would be easier to clip her sides, but neither one of them really made it easier. So I'm clipping at the sides, and after I do that, I'm going to go in and file to get a more defined shape. I do my filing with a 100/180 hand file, and I do use the 100 grit side to do the filing and shaping. So after I'm done with all that, I'm going to come back when I begin laying the acrylic. So I lied. I thought I was going to be coming back when I'm placing the acrylic down, but I somehow forgot that there are more steps in between filing and placing the acrylic. Like, I don't know how I made a mistake and told you guys that I was going to be back when I start placing acrylic. But right now I'm going in with that same 180 sanding band that I used to file at the natural nail, and I'm now using it to blend in the tip with the natural nail. You do not have to do this, but it's just something that I like to do. I don't know why. Well, I guess it's because of the people who I watch on YouTube. They always do this, so it's just something I'm used to. So now I'm going in and I'm using a cotton wipe with alcohol on it to wipe the dust off of her nails and to dehydrate the nails. Now, I don't know why I use this cotton wipe, because the cotton was getting stuck on the sharp ends of the tip. So I do not recommend using a cotton wipe. I do recommend using a spray bottle with alcohol in it, spraying alcohol onto the nails, and using a paper towel to wipe the nails with. I don't know why I didn't do that, because that's usually what I do. So after I wipe the nails with alcohol to dehydrate them, I do go in with the primer. And primer is not a step you want to skip. I cannot stress to you how much primer is important to acrylic nails. If you do not put this primer onto the nails, your nails are guaranteed to lift. Like, it don't matter what technique you do, how good at filing you are, your nails are definitely going to lift, because primer helps the acrylic adhere onto the natural nail. If you skip this step, I can guarantee you that you will have lifting no matter what you do to those nails. As you can see, I'm now going in and placing the acrylic onto the nails. And if you guys watch any of my videos, you would know that I do not follow any technique. And you know that I do recommend that when you start nails, you find a technique to follow and you stay on that technique. Constantly practice that technique and embed it into your head, because having the techniques make it easier to do nails, because you know exactly what part of the nail you at. You know exactly where you're supposed to be adding acrylic to. And I regret so much not knowing where, like, I regret not learning a technique. But what's done is done, and I'm still doing acrylic nails. So the only thing I know that I do on this whole set is the first bead of acrylic that I place onto her nails will always be where the natural nail and the tip meets, and that is to help begin building the apex of the nails. And if you do not know what an apex is, that is the hump or small hump in the nail that helps strengthen the nail. And basically what it does is, when you hit the nail onto something, it gives that nail strength so it won't pop off. And that is why you shouldn't have thin nails, because thin nails could easily break. But you also don't want too thick nails, because thick nails hurt the finger. So I'm rambling. As you can see, I'm just going in and I'm placing acrylic wherever, and I'm using the tip of my brush to wipe around the cuticle. And you will always want to do that. Always use your brush to wipe around the cuticle, because you do not want acrylic spilling onto her cuticle or his cuticle, whoever's getting the nails done. Because once that acrylic is on the cuticle and it's hardened, you're gonna have to file it off of the cuticle, and I can guarantee you are going to cut your client when you file that acrylic off of their cuticle. So just make sure wherever you place your beads, whether you follow a technique or not, make sure that The nail has a nice apex and you look at it from all different angles. As you can see, I constantly move her finger all over the place, and that is me looking at it from different angles. Make sure your tip is thick enough but not too thick, and make sure you don't have acrylic that spills onto her cuticle, their cuticle, his or her cuticle, whoever nails it is. Just make sure it does not go onto the cuticle. So now I'm going in with that same file that I used to file the tips, and I am filing to get the shape back to a coffin or whatever you really want to call the shape she was going for. Just to slim out the sides, because when I placed the acrylic, it kind of took away from the shape that I had achieved when I shaped the tips. So I'm going in with that 100 side of the 180 file, and I am crisping up her shape. Also, on the middle finger, you will see that I filed down too low. Like, not too low, but I filed too much on, I believe, the right side of the nail. And so I'm going to go in and place some acrylic back there. And I'll talk to you guys when I do it, because I don't really know how to explain it. But once again, I'm just going in and crisping up the shape with the file. Make sure to hold it at a 90-degree angle, because you do not want to hold it at any other angle, or it won't file the entire acrylic. Like, you don't want to file the bottom side of the acrylic but not the top. You want to file the whole entire side. Now I have my fine drill bit, and this is a metal drill bit. As you know, I usually recommend that you get the ceramic, because the ceramic is not as sharp as the metal, and you are more likely to not cut someone like you would with the metal. So anyway, as you can see, I'm filing around the cuticle, and honestly, I don't know how to describe how to file around the cuticle. You just circle around the cuticle, making sure you don't actually cut them. Like, you just gotta watch and practice. There's no actual technique I could tell you to follow. But I'm just filing all over the nail, smoothing it out. If you see a bump in the nail, get it out. The usual. Make sure that when you file around the cuticle, you are able to see a tiny itty bitty bit of the natural nail. That way you know that you have filed around the cuticle and it is definitely sealed and no moisture will get underneath that nail and cause it to lift or anything. This is when I'm going in with some more acrylic and I'm going to build on the side of the nail. I'm going to put a small bead on the side of the nail and I'm just going to play with it, keep on pushing at the sides, and you just see me making sure that it don't drop too low on the bottom, and I keep constantly patting it just everywhere to just make it a decent amount of acrylic that is just on the side, so I could go in and shape that back up into the shape we were trying to achieve, because it did not become like, I filed way too much and messed up the shape. But you can always go and fix it if you really want to. So yeah, I did that, and now I'm about to go back to just filing like how I did. And of course, you're gonna wait to file the middle finger because I still have wet acrylic on it. So yeah. Whenever you see me going from the e-file to a hand file and doing this, I'm doing that because there was a hump in the nail, and no matter how much you e-file, you're not gonna, you most likely not gonna get that hump out the nail like how you want to. So it's best to just go in with the hand file, get the hump out the nail, and then go back in with the e-file and proceed to smoothing it out and work around the cuticle and all that. But word of advice, if you have a hump in the nail, just go in with the hand file. Don't try to keep filing at it with the e-file. So back to the middle finger, I'm going in with the hand file and I'm shaping that again because as you saw, I did add that small bead of acrylic and it took away from the shape. So I'm going in and I'm safely filing at the side, making sure I don't file too much. And I did file the top of it because that small bead created a hump. And as I said before, you have to get the hump out of the nail. And now I'm going around and smoothing the cuticle and just smoothing out the nail, making sure it's flush and nice and all that. And you're going to see me go in with a different drill bit and file at the bottom of the nail. I think I'm about to do it right now. And I'm doing that because when I added that small bead of acrylic, some acrylic drooped down right there, and it would be annoying and it would get caught onto things. So I made sure to file that off so she wouldn't have to tolerate that. And yeah, I just kept on filing at the nail until it got good. Now I'm going in with the polish. Well, she has washed her hands and got the dust off. And now I'm going in with the polish. And this is the base coat. I'm doing the base coat because with the polish I'm using, it sometimes doesn't act right if you don't put the base coat. So I'm going to put the base coat, then 2 coats of the color, and then a top coat. And we'll be done. So, some advice I would tell you is to wipe the sides of the nail so you can still make sure your shape is defined, because gel polish tends to not necessarily fall off the sides, but it goes to the side, it levels itself out, but it also makes the side bigger, so it take away from the shape. So her shape in the end isn't as defined as it is right now because I didn't wipe at the sides with every coat I did. So that's one thing I regret, but you live and you learn. So I just do 1 coat base coat, 2 coats polish, and then 1 coat top coat, and we'll be done. And of course, the final thing we do is add cuticle oil because we do not like ashy cuticles over here. Thanks for watching my video. If you like the video, don't forget to like, possibly comment, and possibly subscribe. If you do subscribe, don't forget to turn on the post notifications so you will get an alert for every time I post a video. I have not been posting videos lately, but I am coming back. I do have a lot of videos I need to edit. Now some last words for my little sister because she wanted to talk to you guys.
Okay guys, this is the finishing product. It does not look the real color is not
Like
showing. It's more of a
dark orange.
yeah, and better looking. But yeah, y'all saw the process. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, or if you want to see more videos. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and comment what other nail ideas y'all want to see.